All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Good to be back here with you guys. It's been a while. The international break sucks, absolutely sucks, and we are slowly coming to the end of the international break, which is fantastic. Month of April is going to be mad. And we're gonna kick things off again with the live streams every day, hopefully every day, inshallah, every day, and the shorter video later on the evening UK time. So 2 content per day. Hopefully, we'll be back again on this particular channel. As I said, good to see so many of you guys are logged in. Smash up the like button as soon as you've come through, and if you're here for the first time, subscribe as well. Make sure to hit the bell notification to keep in touch with all my content. Big up to you, Surfs, as well. Big up to Matt Chels, my man. Hemis, hope you're good, matey. Think the new owners are learning quickly about the FFP, etc. Could be some major player sales, I reckon. Watch this space, 100%, 100%. Pritam, good to see you, my man. Big up to you. Habibi, big up to you as well. Apata salam means wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To Apata Redom, salam means wa alaikum assalam, brother, wa alaikum assalam. Yeah, so look, a couple of really interesting points to talk about. Trilok is saying, I'm okay with Potter sale. Hey, means I'm okay with Potter sale. Imagine we kept all the players and just sold Potter. We're going to talk about the FFP, financial fair play issue. I knew this could potentially come around because, we've made losses the last couple of seasons. Last one, we saw the report, 153 million loss. The one before that was a loss, and this particular financial year, which will end. Some people are saying it ends in March. Some are saying in June. To be honest, I'm not an expert in this particular matter, but we will definitely need to make some player sales. Now, whether we need to make it before June or by the time December comes around again, at the end of this year when the January window opens, I think we'll see. But bottom line, we need to get rid of a lot of players. Patrick, good to see you as well. Good to see you again, Miz. Good to see you too, Patrick. Let's get stuck straight into this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring this up. Okay, so let's go through this particular news from Matt Hughes. Breaking: Chelsea are ready to battle the Premier League over a potential breach of spending rules, with the Blues ready to cite the collapse of contract negotiations with Rudiger as a potential loss of income if charged with breaching profit and sustainability rules. Further goes on to say the accounts published this week take the club's losses over the Premier League's rolling 3-year period to 241.9 million. 241.9 million, ladies and gentlemen. Over the last 3 years, they made a profit of 32.5 million in 2019-20, followed by a record loss of 153.4 million the following year, putting them at risk of breaching the limit of 105 million. I think that 153 million that happened after that profit was due to the pandemic. But obviously, since COVID, we've not really made it into the profit margin. So we've been making a lot of loss. And in the Premier League, you cannot make more than 105 million, I believe. Yeah, over here, as you can see, you cannot make more than 105 million running loss over a 3-year period. So right now we're at 249.9. There's a hell of a lot of profit that we've got to make to come under that. A hell of a lot of profit. 241.9 million. Wow. That's a lot. Nearly 136, I believe. 136 million that we've got to make in profit in the upcoming session in the upcoming financial year to balance things up. Chelsea will have huge problems complying with the rules next year, even if this season's accounts are signed off, as the club have spent 553 million on new players since the takeover was completed. In addition, they are also facing the loss of around 80 million in Champions League revenue, as they are unlikely to qualify for any European competition. And that's the other thing. With no European football possibly, and this is why I keep reiterating for all the people that keep saying, oh, I don't want to make it to Europe next season. If it's not Champions League, I don't want it. I don't want Europa League. I don't want conference. Believe me, the club needs it. The club needs this competition because this would mean revenue, match day revenues. I know making it into the Europa League is you don't get as much as money as you get in the Champions League, and in Conference League it's even less money. But you still need those matches for match day sales, man. You badly need them. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a bit of a predicament. We are in a predicament where we have to focus. I don't know whether our owners, I'm not really sure, like, what was the strategy in January? We've got a lot of players in, which is fantastic. We needed to bring in a lot of players. But what was the strategy? Is the strategy in a sense that we're just bringing all these players, we're probably not going to be able to comply, and maybe we'll just take the transfer ban for one of the windows? Like, has this been done on a purposeful manner? Like, was this done purposely? I don't know, man. I mean, was the thinking process that just get all these superstars, get all these players that we truly want at Chelsea Football Club, and then we'll take a transfer ban if need be. You know, maybe best to just take a transfer ban, because we're just going to be in the notion of selling players. But I don't want to take a transfer ban, man. You never know. Something may be available that you want, and if there's a transfer ban, you're unable to make that transfer. Next transfer window in the summer, I highly doubt that's going to be transfer ban, because they need to do these reports for next year. So potentially, next year summer window, this year summer, I think this is why maybe the owners are going to just go out there and just do the damage and buy all the players. Maybe they're just happy to take the transfer ban later on. Who knows? Let's see what you guys are saying about all this. Sell Mason Mount to Bayern. I mean, look, I think that would be a good move for Mason Mount if Bayern does come around. Todd Bowley got a plan. Don't worry. Huge sponsorship deals incoming. Look, we have to make some profit. We have to recoup nearly 136 million to come inside that 105 million threshold of losses over three financial period. So something has to be done. All these fee from journalists won't lead anywhere. Chelsea will be okay. Look, I'm hopeful. Chelsea will be fine. You'd think so. With the business people that we have running the football club, you'd think that they know what's going on. There could be a factor that they're just doing this purposely, because we're doing all the damage now. We're bringing in all the players now, and potentially down the track, we're not going to do that much business, and we're just going to be focused on selling players. Maybe it could be done purposely. We have to sell a lot of players, especially academy players. They bring in profit directly into the accounts, into the accounting book. So yeah, that's a huge possibility. Getting rid of some of the highly talented academy players. I guess they had it in mind summer would be a mass clear out. Plus, they also knew Enzo, Felix, etc. wouldn't come on summer, as other clubs would be in for them. Absolutely. They've sized this up quite nicely. They've realized that we've got to get in on these superstar players immediately. before other clubs come in and compete for these players. I think this summer might be the last time where we actually go out there and splash money. And once we get ourselves a defensive midfielder, once we get ourselves potentially a striker and maybe a goalkeeper, I think that's it, I think then we are settled. After that, I don't think we need any more. We just look to offload players out and then see if we can get a few players from the academy to be part of the first team. We could potentially do this purposely. I'm not even kidding. And also, some of these transfers that we've done, the high caliber transfers, we've done it over a long period, like a long time. The contract period is long. Over 7, 8, years, 6, 7, 8 years. So those transfers can be amortized over that particular period. So who knows? Maybe our accounts are fine. We have players that can sell easily, and we can get some good money out of them as well. I believe 3 and Whale Fin are expired this summer. Hopefully we get ourselves a good sponsorship. Brother, he can easily recoup in sponsorship in America. Exactly. Hopefully we get a good sponsor, man. With Potter, I don't see any future. Big up Miz, I believe Potter is still with us. I can't believe Potter is still with us. Look, Graham Potter, with the upcoming fixtures, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Wolves, Real Madrid, I think this will really shape up. Whether he's actually going to be cut out to start for us next season. I think this season, nothing's going to happen. I think this season is all going to be Graham Potter. At the end of this season, I think there'll be a big assessment that's going to be made, whether he's capable of staying for next season or not. Paul is the owner in 2 major American sports franchises. He has the links, absolutely, and he knows what he's doing, I suppose. High risk, high reward. After this summer will be sell to buy policy, I believe. I think in this summer as well, there'll be a lot of sale. There'll be purchases. I think there'll be at least 2 minimum purchases, but there'll be a lot of sales. There's no way we are going to go into next season with this level of people in the squad. But we'll have to get rid of them. Bowley won't splash money anymore. Summer's the last time. I think so, I think so. Maybe all of this has been really, really calculated. Splash out the money in January, getting all the players in, the high caliber players, splash out the money again in the summer, and that's it. That squad revamp complete. Time to sell, time to settle down, and then you assess where the manager is taking us. So, it's huge. It's huge time for Graham Potter. Why not same mentality while hiring a coach? Look, I don't understand what thought process went through the owner's mind when they selected Graham Potter. But I think they're slowly coming into realization now with many footballing brains that's been added into our football club in the likes of Vivell, Paul Winstonley, Joe Shields, Lawrence Stewart, and many more. I think now slowly the owners are coming to realization that did we actually do the right thing by getting Potter? And Nagelsmann's name floating around is causing even more pressure because Christopher Vivell is very close to Nagelsmann. Their time in Red Bull Leipzig was very fruitful. And he could potentially want to take over at Chelsea Football Club. And, someone like Vivell will absolutely help in that situation. And I think Top Bowley will entertain it as well. This is why it's very important now for Graham Potter for the remainder of the season. He's got to do well. Aston Villa game is huge. Drop points again. I think if he hasn't lost majority of the fan base already, he definitely will if you drop points against Aston Villa. I think we might not sign Felix on permanent deal, Miz. We'll see. Maybe we may. Like, this summer is still going to be utilized to buy as well. Like, there'll be a lot of sales. Don't get me wrong. I think we will utilize to still buy. João Felix is a wonderful player, man. You don't want to let go of an opportunity to have a wonderful player like him be part of your football club. João Felix is like 23, man. The best years are ahead of him. You don't want to let this guy go. Look how seamlessly he's taken up to the Premier League football. I would really look into making him permanent. To be honest, even if we don't get a striker, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get Victor Osimhen. He's going to cost a lot of money. More than João Felix. In excess of 100 million. With João Felix, we could potentially get a bit of a discount. Don't forget, we've already paid 13-14 million in loan fee. So we could potentially get some sort of discount. I hope we get rid of 3. Their behavior during the sanctions made maybe Bowley contacts Musk Tesla. I mean, yeah, 3, nah. Yeah, I didn't like 3 at all. Will you take De Zerbi to replace Graham Potter? Look, I think De Zerbi is a good manager, but let him continue at Brighton, man. I mean, he was very good before Brighton as well in Sassuolo, but let him just continue at Brighton. And I don't want to get another one of Brighton's manager, man. We've already got one. Let's just chill with the Brighton players now, man. Brighton people. We're still linked with a lot of their players still. They splash money maybe due to terms related to acquisition. From next windows, I don't think there would be much incoming part from 1 or 2. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think in the summer, minimum, I'd say minimum 2. Defensive midfield is a must. And then potentially a number 9 or a goalkeeper. The number 9 ain't going to come cheap. Potter was bought in because he has the ability to develop cheap talent into high-value players. Example, McAllister, Caicedo, Cucurella. And look, that's great, but at Chelsea Football Club, sometimes it's not. I mean, if you can get that level of players, fine, but you can't just always look for gems at Chelsea Football Club. There are certain times where you need ready-made players to come in. This is Chelsea Football Club. You can't, like, Brighton were good enough to make these, deals, but they're a club that can take a bit of a punt as well. Chelsea can't always take punts. You need ready-made superstars to come in at times. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure they saw this coming. That's why they structured new deals the way they did. Potentially they did. The writing is on the wall for Potter. I don't see him turning it around. Chelsea always wanted Nagelsmann. I'm not sure if we always wanted Nagelsmann, but Graham Potter's position is definitely under threat. Definitely under threat. Okay, let's talk about the next bit of news. I want to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. Something that came up in regards to Kai Havertz, and it kind of bothered me. At the same time, I sympathize what he's saying. Like, there's a full blown out interview on Kai Havertz, but this is something that I want to sort of talk about a little bit. This particular quote in regards to Kai Havertz. This is what he said. Everything moves fast. The last few months, a good example. Everyone's upset with me. I don't score. I play rubbish. This is bad. That's bad. They have to sell me. Now I score and everyone says I'm the best player. People love me now, but maybe in 2 weeks they hate me again. I'm like, Do you know what, Kai Havertz? It's not about people hate you, people love you, this, that, the other. It's not. You need to assess yourself. You need to be a great self-evaluator. Have a look at your last 50 matches and then assess yourself. Were you good enough? Was your overall play good enough? Was your hold up good enough? Was your link up good enough? Was your passing good enough? Should you have scored the goals, the opportunities that fell for you? Was your movement good enough? Some of the greatest players are best at self-evaluating. It's not about, a couple of weeks ago they all hated me and they wanted me sold. No, a lot of people still wants you to be sold. Believe me. Believe me, Kai Havertz. A lot of people still wants you to be sold. Just because you played good couple of matches, that don't mean that we've forgotten everything else. You need to humble yourself. You need to look at your own performances as I said, for the last 50 games. And it's not just Kai Havertz. I feel like the coaching staff, they need to sit down with players, show them clips of their matches that they've had, and see, how they've done. Ask the players, what do you think? How do you think you went? And of course, like there is the non-footballing side of things. Adapting to the environment. Of course, it's difficult. Coming from Germany, settling down in London, leaving family, friends. Obviously, he went through COVID period, injuries. We understand that. But this is This is Kai Havertz's third full season, I'd say. This is his third full season. You need to knuckle down. You need to be honest to yourself. Don't get ahead of yourself just because you had a couple of good games and then you're also trying to say that, in the next 2 weeks, if I don't play well, they hate me again. It's not about hating and loving. It's about you understanding. Man. Let's see what you guys are saying about this. You should have been sold with Werner. Yeah. Havertz has been average, less with the noise. Exactly. The team is in disarray because of management. Kai is not a bad player, neither is Mount. The team is in disarray because of management. Kai is not a bad player, neither is Mount. Of course, the team has been in disarray, no doubts about that. But Kai Havertz and Mason Mount both have been very average. They've definitely been very, very average. And there's nothing wrong in saying that. Can they improve? Of course they can. But something's not right, because Mason Mount hasn't been good for a very, very long time. And Kai Havertz, at least he's come around a little bit over the last 2-3 games. But same with Kai Havertz as well. Not been good for a very, very long time. You can at least look after your own individual performance. You look at Thiago Silva, for instance. You look at Reece James. Besides the injuries, Reece James has been fantastic. Do you know what I mean? So you have to look after yourself. Something's definitely not right with these couple of players. Get over it, Kai. That's live, Graham Potter. Werner and Havertz got Frank Lampard sacked. The coach sitting down with the players. Coaching stuff needs to be there, man. Talking to these players. Kai should ask himself why he seems to do better towards the end of the season. Also, his improvement linked to moving to the right attack rather than the center. Maybe, yeah, but you're right. He needs to ask himself the question. Where can I improve? How can I improve? What's stopping me? What can my teammates do? What can I do to help out my teammates? Guys, being bang average player, true means there's been zero improvement. So if Potter is such a good manager, WTF is going on shambles. Jose advised Dele Alli he needs the same treatment. Let him do it for himself. Exactly. And I just found this particular comments from Kai Havertz quite. It feels like he's not totally connected, is he? It feels like he's not totally matured as an individual. I get it. He's young. I understand. He's still young, but he still tends to think, it's him against the world. It's not like that. You need to look at yourself. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea coach Anthony Barry will stay away from Cobham and Stamford Bridge while Bayern Munich haggle over his release. Look, Anthony Barry wants to go to Bayern Munich. When a particular individual doesn't want to be part of Chelsea Football Club, I don't think we should hold them on. We should try and let them go. If their mind is not at Chelsea, then let's not try and force them to be at Chelsea. Few people. There was Matt Law with the article a few days ago saying Chelsea are disappointed in Thomas Tuchel for being public about this. I mean, look, he doesn't come public if he didn't know that Anthony Barry wanted to join. You don't go public if you don't know that the person wants to join. He knew that Anthony Barry would want to join Bayern Munich. And now that he's not allowed to be at Stamford Bridge or Cobham until this situation is done and dusted, let's get it moving. I would like this to be finalized before the Aston Villa game. I don't want this to be hanging around over our head, so that entire coaching staff can move on. To be honest, I've got no issues with this. I really have no issues with this. Is the mentality monster hiding in the closet? Where is the mentality monster? Where is he? Havertz has played under 3 different coaches. Means young players, especially attacking players, need that one coach look at Saka and Foden, and that could mean something. Yeah. Obviously, the chopping and changing doesn't help. But sometimes, this is the nature of the beast, man. This is the nature of the beast. You're just going to have to accept it, man. What can you do? No one wanted Thomas Tuchel to be sacked. He got sacked. Frank Lampard needed to be sacked. Sometimes you can't keep a manager just because of the benefit of the players. You got to look at the benefit of the team. Graham Potter, Kai Havertz is doing well under Graham Potter, but Graham Potter is not doing well for Chelsea Football Club. Do you keep Graham Potter? You got to look at the benefit of the overall team. And if a player seems to not develop because there's been a lot of chop and change, which is fair enough, maybe the player needs to leave. For the Kai Shields, remember he was 100 million club record signing paid in one shot. The high expectations are justified. Yeah, man, with money comes expectation, Sell all those useless players like Mount, Havertz, and bring Felix. Potter must be sacked. Doubt that Felix and Osimhen come without Champions League football. Potter can get us top 4. I doubt. Sack him. Look, I think Felix will still stay, even if we don't get top 4. Victor Osimhen, I think he might still come as well. Look, Chelsea, it's still a big club. Even if without Champions League football, it's still a huge club. It all comes down to money. How much money can you offer? What wages can you give? I still think we can have the firepower. We really can. Okay. Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea are very happy with Lewa Colwell's development, and it took 2 days of extra negotiations with Brighton to make sure there was no buy option. At the end of the season, the situation for the future will be discussed with his agents. We have to be very, very careful with the Lewa Colwell situation, ladies and gentlemen. Lewa Colwell is doing really well at Brighton. Lewa Colwell starts at Brighton Football Club. Lewa Colwell will not like to come to Chelsea next season if he's not guaranteed some game time. I don't think he'll mind the rotational business, but look at all the defenders that we already have. Some will need to give way. If we play two at the back, if we play two with two CBs, then it makes it even difficult for Lewa Colwell to start. 3, you can potentially have some options, of course. But right now we've got Chalobah, Silva, Koulibaly, Fofana, Buddy Shield, Cucurella. Have I missed anyone? That's 6. With Lewa Colwell, that's 7. 7 CBs is way too many. Way too many. You need to get rid of a few. You need to definitely get rid of. This is probably why Chalobah's name's getting floated around. Some people are saying Thiago is still here next season. He's signed a contract extension. Thiago Silva is here next season. I'm talking about Lewa Colwell coming into Chelsea Football Club next season, wanting some minutes. Colwell's not going to come to Chelsea and just be sitting around in the bench. With Colwell, there'll be 7 defenders. All I'm saying that we better have a plan for him. I don't want Lewa Colwell to be sold. I think Lewa Colwell is a fantastic, fantastic defender. But what are you going to do? Potentially Chalobah will have to. This is probably why his name's getting floated around. This is probably why we gave him a contract extension to secure his value. Longer contract means, if we were to sell him, we can sell him for a good amount of money. Koulibaly, some people are saying Koulibaly, maybe that could be a potential, but I don't know. I don't know whether Koulibaly is going to be the one that's going to be sold. Like, the new owners just got in Koulibaly. But that could be an option. Someone will have to go. That's all I'm saying. Someone will have to go. The Arsenal board trusted Arteta. He finished 8th, 5th, and now 1st. Wasn't it 8th, and then 5th? I think it was 8th, and then 5th. And now 1st. Potter needs time and a clear out of players who aren't a part of the future. Look, with Arsenal, it was different. Arsenal, they were in the mud for a long time. It's not the same case for us. We don't necessarily have to wait that many seasons. With Arsenal, they had to do major revamping and they weren't winning anything. So they had to break everything down. Start again. We don't need to start all over again. It's not the same scenario. Look at the team Arteta took when he first came in. Imagine going through 8th, 5th. How are we going to survive? Look at the caliber of players that Arsenal have had to buy over the last few seasons. They've not been able to go for the top of the top range, and maybe that's worked for their well-being, because they've been able to bring through some of their younger players, Saka, Martinelli. They found gems like Odegaard, but just because that worked for Arsenal, that's not the same script for us. That's all I'm trying to say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to slowly wrap things up. Let's take a few more comments before we do. Over 130 still live. Smash up the like button, guys. Let's get those likes up to 100 if we can. That'd be great. Just another 47 more likes. Let's get to 100 likes immediately. Arteta didn't have 600 million worth of players just for him in one window. Exactly. Arteta only started getting some money, not last window, the window before that. He didn't get 600 million in one go. It's not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. Koulibaly hasn't settled. Silva on one more year. Aspi is going. Chalobah will be moved on that for going potentially. Yeah, I think Chalobah might be the one that gets chopped. I hate this Arsenal comparison. Why have dropped our standards? We should be comparing ourselves with the likes of Bayern, Madrid, Man United, Barcelona. Exactly. I don't know why we keep bringing up Arsenal. Oh, look at the Arsenal. Everyone only focuses on Arsenal because Arsenal's first now. They all forget that they were 8th, under Arteta, 8th, 5th. And now first, let's see if they actually end up winning it. Potentially they will. But imagine going through 8th, 5th, and then win your Premier League. And who knows what's going to happen next season? You think it's going to be walk in the park for Arsenal next season? I don't think so. Every other team will strengthen, will get better. Arsenal is not Man City, who continuously winning. Arsenal are lucky. Liverpool drop form. Arsenal still can lose next season. Arsenal will be back to being a top 4 team. Yeah, I agree, man. Because we've been in the mud in the league, brother. The last time we won the league was 16-17, and the last back-to-back was 05, 06, 06, 07. We're going on the downwards trajectory in the Premier League. Yeah, I understand, but we've still been able to, we've won the Champions League, and I get it. Look, a lot of that has to be on Thomas Tuchel, the Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup. But still, before him with Sarri, we won the Europa, and not that long before Sarri with Conte, we won the Premier League and the FA Cup. So I still don't agree that we're in the same situation as Arsenal. Arsenal haven't won anything substantial since the last time they won the Premier League, which was 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wrap things up. Smash up the like button before you go. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Subscribe to my second channel. The link is in the description. I shall see you guys later on tonight for another video wrapping up the day's Chelsea news. Until then, everyone, take care. See ya.